and welcome to Who Are You? The Bobcats You Know, the Stories You Don't. I'm your host, Joel Vanner, inside the podcast studio at Quinnipiac University School of Communications, and I'm joined today by my guest, Bailey Neary. Bailey, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm happy you're here. You've seen episodes of our show before.
Yes,
we were talking before we started recording, so you know my first question to you, and that is, who are you?
I'm Bailey Neary. I'm a sophomore here at Quinnipiac. I'm an advertising major with a minor in social media strategies. I'm from Stratford, Connecticut, and yeah.
Well, that's a good answer to who are you. Can get deep. But let's go back. Let's talk about Bailey growing up. What were your passions and interests at Stratford, Connecticut?
Yeah. So growing up, I was an only child, just me and my parents.
Me too.
I lived in one of those neighborhoods where kind of every kid on the street was the same age. So it was very a family orientated street. All the parents were friends. So it was always just there's always something going on. So I would always spend time with them. I was a very athletic kid growing up as well. I did a lot of sports. I did soccer, track, cross country. I actually did triathlons before.
What was your favorite sport?
I definitely liked soccer the most. That was the one I did for the longest, but I also just loved track as well, just because I just liked anything involving running, because I would do other sports. I tried swimming for a little bit, but that wasn't my thing. And dance, I was not a good dancer.
No, not for you.
Yeah. So I did a lot of those clubs, summer camps for track and stuff. And then I did the triathlon it was called Race for Chase. It's a very big camp that's all around Connecticut for Sandy Hook, one of the Sandy Hook victims, and he loved to do triathlon. So I did that for about 3 years, and that was my favorite thing ever. And I wish I could do it again.
So surrounded by family, neighbors that are family, love for sports, did you take a class in middle school, high school that got your interest in communications?
Yes.
Or did you kind of just come to college and you weren't really sure?
Yeah. So, throughout middle school, it was not the best time, obviously suffering through mental health issues. So that caused me to transfer high schools, because in my hometown, there's 2 high schools. So I transferred to the one that was not in my district. So I transferred there, and I felt that school, it was more newer, that school that I transferred to. So they had a lot more different options, more new kind of classes and stuff. And one of the classes that struck out to me was video production. And I discovered that class because the teacher who taught that class was also my homeroom teacher for all 4 years of high school. And me and him were best friends. I loved him. He obviously is the reason I'm here today. So basically it was a video production class, and it was just so simple, but also so inspiring to be in, because you think it's just a regular high school class. It's not like I went to a tech high school and stuff like that. And also, I took this my senior year. I still had no idea where I wanted to go when I came to college. And I felt so behind because everyone else knew where they wanted to go. And I was I don't know, probably business. So then in that class, basically it was just recording the morning announcements. And then for assignments, we would have to make little commercials. We would make advertising stuff, anything basically advertising related. And as I was applying to colleges and getting recommendation letters, I was talking to that teacher, Mr. Palmucci, and he was telling me, saying, hey, I don't think you should go for business. I think you should check out the School of Communications. And going into college, or going into school, applying to schools, I didn't know what the School of Communications was. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look very into it, especially because both of my parents didn't go to college, so I didn't really know much about it.
So you were in the college search process.
Yes, I was still in the process. Yes,
figuring out what you were interested in.
I wasn't even fully applied to all my schools yet, so I was still very lost. I had no idea where I wanted to go. I toured very little schools, so. And then once he told me about that, the School of Communications, I was okay, it doesn't hurt to check it out, because growing up, I was always scared to try new things, and I finally broke out of my shell. I was scared to try things in the middle school area when I was struggling the most, but then in high school, I got back out of that shell.
New environment.
Yeah, new environment, new friends, everything. So I was okay, what's it gonna hurt? This is because thinking of college, obviously you're oh my God, this is going to dedicate the rest of your life, which obviously it's not that huge, but like I was very worried. In the
you're like,
moment,
"It's a
that's
big
how it
decision."
feels.
Yeah.
It feels very like, because all my friends knew what they wanted to do, and I was like putting so much pressure on myself, being like, you have to know what you want to do. Like, because obviously there's people who want to go into nursing, and there's people like who want to go into business, say like their family is in a business and they have like an easy way in. So I was like, okay, like I know some people whose like families are in business, so like I have that connection. I was just doing what was the easiest thing for me. I wasn't trying to check out new things. I wasn't looking at what the schools like served, if that makes sense. But I was just so stressed. So then once my teacher brought that up to me, I knew like he was bringing that up to me for a reason. He was basically telling me with the video production class, he felt that I had such a talent towards it. And I just felt like I've always loved showing creativity. Like when I was younger, making those at-home videos and stuff, like I never thought anything of it, like making a career out of it or going to school for it. So I was obviously a little skeptical. I was like, okay, like maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Like I was kind of giving the cold shoulder, but.
How did you decide on Quinnipiac? What was your first experience here? What did you come to an open house session?
So I decided on Quinnipiac because I thought it wouldn't hurt to check out some schools in Connecticut, because I never really considered going to school in Connecticut, which is pretty ironic now because I wanted to go as far away from home as possible. And now I go to school in Connecticut and I'm a commuter living at home. So it's pretty funny how that turned out. But basically, I thought it wouldn't hurt to tour a school in Connecticut. And being from Connecticut, obviously I know about Quinnipiac. So that was the one that sparked the interest most to me, especially because I was going in with an interest in business.
So you came in as a business undeclared?
Yes, I came in as a business undeclared because I felt like that was the easiest route for me. As I said before, I just felt like it was just not really stepping out of the box. Just,
you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yet.
So then going into the tour, there was the open house and there was the tables for all like the different majors, the sports, the clubs, everything going on. And my mom was with me, and she brought up about how my teacher, Mr. Palmucci, said I should consider the School of Communications. So we saw the School of Communications, and that's where I met Professor Reed. And she kind of just like, I just kind of told her the position I was in, like not really knowing what to do, but my teacher said that like it's something I should consider, kind of telling her the position I was in. And right then and there, she just was so insanely helpful. Like she told me everything about advertising. She told me exactly what it was, all the different types of advertising there is, because I feel like advertising is such a broad major that people don't even realize that there's so many different directions you can go in. And she really just like opened a whole new book for me, and it was incredible. And I was so into the conversation with her, and she was telling us so much that we actually missed the tour that was going on. So then we had to get like our own little private tour. Basically, it was just me, my mom, and a tour guide. And the tour guide was super sweet. She was amazing, but I will never forget that moment with Professor Reed and how much she helped me.
So coming here for open house, meeting Professor Reed, who you later would have for 2 of your classes, taking that tour, that sold you on Quinnipiac, and you decided this is where you wanted to be.
Not only just of how welcoming everyone was, and just like, the fact that then and there was where it made me realize where I want to go into and how amazing the program was here. During the entire tour, I was like, this feels like home. Like I would not stop talking about Quinnipiac on the car ride home.
Did you thank your mother for?
Yeah, I kind of had to give her a little. She kind of was like, "I told you so," which obviously is never the best feeling to get.
Moms know.
They know. So
especially only children moms.
Yes,
know.
Especially them.
So here at Quinnipiac, in the advertising program, what kind of courses have you taken so far, and where have your interests kind of led you coming in with that video production experience and encouragement?
So coming into Quinnipiac my freshman year, I definitely was a little more broad of classes. I wasn't really, because I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go in the advertising world, I guess. So I was taking like film classes, obviously based off of my video production class. And then I was taking journalism classes, the intro to advertising, and just all kind of like the basics, just to kind of like figure out where I felt the most comfortable. And that part still made me feel like I was still behind, which was a hard feeling because I felt like that going into college, and then I was finally in college. I'm like, finally, like I know where I'm going. And I still had that same feeling because, like I said before, advertising is just such a broad major, and I still had no idea where I wanted to go in the advertising world. And I was just taking all these classes and just realized some of them just wasn't for me. And especially with my video production class, going back to that, we did a lot of film and stuff, but I was never the one that liked being behind. I didn't like being behind the camera.
You liked being
I liked being on camera, and I liked doing the editing. I liked using my creative mind. But so it was just still like so hard because it's like, I don't know exactly where I want to go. So then obviously I decided second semester, I realized, okay, like that's where I came up with my minor in social media strategies, because I took a class about social media and I was like, okay, like advertising and social media, they kind of go hand in hand with each other, especially in this day and age. Like literally social media is all advertising, and it's just so fascinating how it is really like how social media has changed the advertising world. And then there was my second semester, freshman year, and I'll never forget, I was in Professor Reed's class for advertising and still had no idea where I wanted to go. And then we had a guest speaker, and Professor Place, she came in talking about this new class that just started, and it was a luxury class. It was ADPR 400. It was about like fashion, luxury, and right when she told me about it, I was like, that's exactly what I want. And I was like, this is amazing. Like I was texting my mom about it immediately the second that I left that class. I was like, Mom, like I think I literally just felt like it literally was like a light bulb going off in the moment. Like that's the only way. I did end up taking I actually did end up taking the class, and I signed up for it immediately when she came in class, and I signed up for the class, and it was just so amazing, like learning, because it wasn't just about like fashion. It was learning about the history. It was learning about like cars, hotels, like because there's just so much that goes in the luxury world, not just like fashion and cars, which people usually think. It was like the food, the hotels, the places. It was an amazing class. And if I could take it again, I would.
So after taking that class in fashion, that's something you've continued to work in that realm today, right? With an internship you have.
Yes. I am a marketing intern for a small boutique called Collections Boutique. It is all online, and it has just been the most amazing experience. And I'm just so happy to like finally have found a passion. And I am just in awe of like how grateful I am for all happens for a reason. I met the boutique at an event for my sorority here on campus, and that's when I like really had an interest in fashion. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, like, do you need any help with your social media? Like, because I've been trying to reach around and get so many internships, but it just never worked out. And then she was so nice and welcoming to me, and we interviewed and I got the marketing internship, and it's just been amazing ever since.
You're unlocking the different steps on your path, right? From your high school teacher to your mom bringing you to the table, Professor Reed, Professor Place, into fashion, and the internship.
I know, it's crazy how it all unfolds, really, because again, I just feel like it's just so much pressure that people don't realize going into college, that people, even just like undecided majors, like they have no idea where they want to go. And I feel like it's so great to have a place where there's so many opportunities for you that makes it feel like anything is possible. Because if you told me like senior year of high school that I was going to be an advertising major with an interest in fashion, I would have been like, whoa, like I never would have thought
That's
of
not
that.
me, right?
Yeah, like
whether it's an internship or one of our hundreds of clubs and organizations,
Yeah.
Greek life, like there's something.
Yeah, there's always something, and everything always happens for a reason, I like to say. So
looking back, what advice would you give someone who is maybe not sure what they want to do in college, kind of like you were at that point? What would you say to them to encourage them to find themselves?
Yeah, all I would say is just don't push yourself, because I feel like people always expect to go into college, know exactly what they want to do, and the second they step foot on their first day of classes in college, they know where they're going after. And I just feel like people need to stop putting that pressure on themselves and do what they want to do. Don't do based off what's easiest for you, and don't be afraid to try new things. I feel like all these like organizations have helped me so much find out, because not even just the classes, it's just the organizations, like the clubs, the Greek life, like you said, have helped so much find where I want to go. And there's always going to be a place for you.
Well, Bailey, thank you for joining me on the show, sharing your experience and insights. It was great chatting with you tonight.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and share, and find other episodes on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube podcasts. Until next time, when I ask my next guest, who are you? I'm Joel Vanner. Bye for now.